Remember Clippy, that annoying little paperclip from Microsoft Word? Always helping you format your documents? Well, imagine Clippy. But instead of formatting, he's influencing elections and controlling global policy. That's the terrifying reality Carole Cadwalladr warns us about with the rise of the Broligarchy. Broligarchy, it's a word that makes you chuckle, then immediately break into a cold sweat. It refers to the unholy alliance between Silicon Valley brothers and the corridors of power. Think tech moguls with their billions and their algorithms cozying up to governments, whispering sweet nothings into the ears of politicians. This isn't some dystopian sci-fi plot, folks. This is happening right now. We're talking about a world where a handful of incredibly wealthy individuals, driven by profit and unchecked ambition, are shaping the future of entire nations. And it's not pretty. Remember that time your phone's microphone seemed to be listening to your conversations, and then boom, targeted ads for those very products magically appeared on your social media? That's just the tip of the iceberg. The Broligarchy operates in a much grander, far more insidious way, manipulating the very fabric of our democracies. Let's talk about money, shall we? Specifically, the obscene amounts of money being funneled from the tech sector into the pockets of politicians. We're not talking about a few $1,000s here and there. We're talking about a tidal wave of cash, enough to make even the most hardened cynic blush. Cadwalladr drops a bombshell. A staggering 70% of political donations in the last decade have come from the tech industry. Let that sink in for a moment. 70%. That's not just influence, that's practically ownership. Now, some might argue that these are just generous donations from civic-minded individuals who want to support the democratic process. But let's be real, folks. When you're dealing with that kind of money, there are always strings attached. It's like that old saying, "He who pays the piper calls the tune." The problem is the tune being called is increasingly out of sync with the needs of everyday people. Politicians, beholden to their tech overlords, are more likely to prioritize policies that benefit big tech, even if it means sacrificing the privacy, security, and well-being of their constituents. It's a classic case of the few profiting at the expense of the many. Remember when social media was just a place to share cat videos and awkwardly posed selfies? Those were simpler times. Now, it's become a breeding ground for disinformation, a digital Wild West where facts are fluid and conspiracy theories spread like wildfire. Here's a chilling statistic for you. Over 60% of people get their news from social media. Let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about platforms designed to keep you scrolling, to feed you content that confirms your biases, regardless of its veracity. Algorithms, those invisible puppet masters of the digital age, determine what you see and what you don't see. They curate your reality, creating echo chambers where dissenting voices are silenced and critical thinking goes to die. The Broligarchy thrives in this environment. They understand the power of social media to shape narratives, to manipulate public opinion, and to sow discord. And they're not afraid to use it to their advantage, whether it's to influence elections, suppress dissent, or simply line their own pockets. Section 4 Faces of the Broligarchy, from Musk to Project Stargate. The Broligarchy isn't some faceless entity, it has a face. In fact, it has several. Elon Musk, the techno-king, influences everything from cars to space to politics. His influence on the US government is undeniable. Musk's tweets can move markets and sway public opinion. Then there's Project Stargate, a $500 billion initiative by Trump and tech billionaires. Critics argue it's a wealth transfer to the tech elite. Section 5. Reclaiming Our Future, a call to action. So, what can we do? Are we doomed to live in a world ruled by the Broligarchy, where our every move is tracked, our data is harvested, and our lives are dictated by algorithms? Not if we have anything to say about it. First, we need to wake up and smell the digital coffee. The Broligarchy thrives on our apathy, our willingness to accept the status quo. We need to educate ourselves about the issues, engage in critical thinking, and demand better from our elected officials. Second, we need to hold these tech giants accountable. They're not above the law, no matter how much money they throw around. We need stronger regulations, stricter enforcement of antitrust laws, and a commitment to protecting our privacy and our democracy. Finally, we need to remember that we, the people, still have power. We can vote with our wallets, supporting businesses that align with our values. We can raise our voices, demanding transparency and accountability. and we can work together to create a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.